Hi guys, this is Billy with theoutdoorsmissouri.com. Welcome to my reloading bench. We're back here again today, and want to dive into the Ruger 1022 today. A viewer requested that I take some measurements for him, and that's exactly what we're going to do here today. But in order to make the video, I'm going to go ahead and replace some drift pins while we're at it. Okay, so hang tight, and we're going to jump right in. Okay. Alright guys, so here we are with my Ruger 1022. This is the same 22 we're always working on, trying to make it just a little bit better. So for those of you that already know how to dig into the 1022, we got to remove this screw here. Move this to right in the middle. It should. This rifle's glass bedded, so it's got a little bit of a stick to it. Okay, so that's out. Got a little compound on there. Yeah. So when we put the oil on the stock, it kind of stuck a little bit, but no big deal. Okay, so we're going to pull our drift pins out and replace them. So we're just going to push these pins here straight out, and then our trigger assembly should pop right out, and then that's all we needed for this. So for our measurements, I wasn't exactly sure what we were looking for measurement wise, but from this angle, because one of our viewers requested some measurements because he's trying to build his own 1022, which is awesome, and this is 3.8845. That's the measurement there, and the measurement here, 3.514, and our width, let's pull this hammer out. There we go. 2.365. Okay, and we're going to replace these pins here with the set that I got. And I'm going to take probably the hammer. And what I'm going to do for our viewer that needed some measurements is I'm going to go ahead and make a photocopy of all these parts and send it to him through his email. So we're just going to pull these pins out. We have a video on how to disassemble your trigger group, and this might be a little addition to how to reassemble or disassemble your trigger group and all the little different components. The one that is the most fun to work with is the actually trigger assembly, because it's kind of spring loaded. So yep, there it is, it all fell out. So we'll just take all this stuff out, and I'm going to go ahead and make a photocopy of all this stuff for our viewer that requested it, and I'll be right back. 1, 2. Alrighty, so we're back. We went ahead and photocopied all those pieces for our viewer, and I can't say his name, so I'm going to post that in there in the video. We're going to go ahead and replace these drift pins and put our trigger group back together. And the reason I'm replacing the drift pins is because there is a little bit of wear, because I have shot this a lot trying to dial it in and what have you. So I'm going to replace these with some oversized drift pins. They're just slightly oversized to fit a little bit tighter. And that's the one I want to replace now, because this is one of the first things going back in. So I went ahead and replaced it. This one's been replaced. It's that simple. Okay, feels in right. Okay, so we're just going to put this part back in here. Because that's where that goes. It's been a little while since I've replaced these pieces or worked on them. It's been a couple months, so forgive me if I don't look very proficient. Okay, so that's back together, and we're just going to gently slide that back in our housing. Okay, then we need another pin. So I believe it's probably going to be, any one of these pins will be fine for now. We can always replace it with another one later. And before we do that, we're going to put this piece back in. That goes behind the trigger. Helps it spring back a little bit. This is the trickiest part of putting the trigger group back together. If you can get past this, everything else is easy. So we're just kind of trying to feel and get our parts in the right spot so that they fall into place. And it's being a little bit difficult right now. Like I said, it's been a while since I've taken these parts apart. So forgive me for my lack of proficiency. There we go. There we go. Okay, we know that's not the right pin because it's way too long. So we're going to just slide that one through, and we know that one's the right one. Good fit. Okay. So then we're going to go, so we've got two replaced already, and next part I'd like to put in, I like to put this spring in, just get it over with so that it's in there, and try to make it a little bit, you know, straight. And go ahead and I'd say put this one in now, because we're going to need this in, at least in place. And I'll go ahead and put this together and put him inside there, and grab this guy, put him up in there. This is our release for a magazine. Get our pin, our new drift pin. So that one's in. So now we're just about ready for our hammer, and we'll look inside here, make sure everything is going to go in properly. Try to remember how this goes. probably going to need to pull this part out here first to slide our trigger in. This is another pin that's getting replaced. This is the thicker one. So there's that. We can go ahead and walk that back. I'm going to slide this guy in here. Yeah, these new pins already feel a lot better. They're already starting to feel a little bit tighter. And this is our ejector and our last pin that's new. And our spring is going to come all the way around and down, and there you go, it's all back together. So I'm going to probably take my little 1022 the rest of the way apart and replaced all the drift pins. We're just going to kind of clean that out and get ready to shoot it, because we're going to try to put some really good groups down and see how it goes. So I'll be posting a video soon. Come back and see us, www.theoutdoorsmissouri.com. Check out the rest of our videos. Thanks a lot.